What's up, kids? I'm just sitting here playing a little game, seeing if I can be pretty good at this. I've seen it play, a couple of times, maybe I'm good enough to fool you. Hold on one second, okay? Let's play. All right, I want you to play at home, okay? As you see, under the middle one, we have this checker, okay? We got that checker here, okay? Now, keep your eye on this checker one and see if you can figure out where it is after they all get done moving, okay? Let's try this. All right, here we go. You ready? All right. You got it? You got it? Come on now, are you? Do you have it there? How about this? You got it? You got it? Huh? How about this? How about this? Do you have it? Do you have it? Do you have it? Huh? Where is it? Where is it? Can you follow it? Can you follow it? Where is it? What's going on here? Huh? Alright. There we go. Alright, without all that stuff, okay, which one do you think it is, okay? Alright, do you think it's 1, 2, or 3? Okay, let's see here. Is it under 1? No, it's not under 1. Okay. Is it under 2? No, not under 2. So it's gotta be 3. There it is. Alright, let's try this again. Maybe you got it, maybe you didn't. Let's try it again, okay? Remember, it's in the middle, okay? Let's start moving them all around here, trying to figure them out here, one after the other. Here we go, here we go. You got it there. You got it moving around. There you go. Right there. Ooh. Wait a second. Did you see that? Yeah, you probably did, huh? Yeah, you know what? I tried to trick you by sliding over to this one and something like that. Because here's the reality. It's pretty easy to trick each other, isn't it? Maybe you have something that you've said, or maybe that, you're trying to be a little sneaky about things and stuff like that. It may be easy to be sneaky. It may be easy to trick people. I hope it's not. I hope you all are terrible at being sneaky or lying or something like that. I hope you're terrible at it. It's good to have a kid that's terrible at lying. That's what I want. But anyways, it's easy. Because you know what? We're human. Okay, you can trick me. I'm pretty gullible. Okay, I'll believe a lot of things. Why? Because I trust you, and I think you're trying to be honest, and so it's easy to fool me. Okay, it may be easy to fool your friends, but tonight I want us to understand that it's not easy for us to fool God. Okay, because God's not like us. I want to read you a little place in Scripture here. Okay. And it comes from Isaiah 55, verse 8 and 9. It says this, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are my ways your ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." And I wanted to read that to you tonight because I want you to understand, okay, that, while you may be able to trick the people around you, the thing is you cannot trick God because God is not human like us. Okay, God can see right through us. God can see right through a lie. God can see right through whatever you want to call it, a trick or whatever it is. God can see through it. Okay, God can even know your thoughts before you even know your thoughts. That's the crazy thing about it is he's higher than we are. He knows more than we are. His thoughts are higher than we are. He knows what we are doing. He knows what's going on before it even happens. And so, that should tell us right there. If he knows what's going on even before it happens, then why do we even try to hide it? Why do we even try when we do something wrong? Okay, we have two options. Okay, we either try to hide it or we admit that we do wrong and we ask for forgiveness. And what I'm saying here is this. When we know that we've done something wrong, the first place that we should go, the first place that we should run to is God and ask for forgiveness. Because guess what? He already knows. It's not like it's a big secret to him. He knows what's going on. He knows your heart. He knows your heart better than you know your heart. You may sit there and say, oh, no way. I know my heart. I know what I'm doing. How can he know it better than I can? Because he knew the world so well, and he knew the heart of the world so well that he sent his son, Jesus, to die on the cross thousands of years ago because he knew that you would mess up. And he knows that you would do something wrong that he calls sin. And he knew that already. He knows you better than you know yourself. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. And his ways are higher than our ways. I mean, just think about this. We all know the story about, when Samuel came looking for a new king. He came bebopping into town, and he went to Jesse and said, Jesse, I want you to line up all of your sons. One of them is going to be the new king. And Jesse was like, all right. And he's all excited. And so he lined up all of his sons. And they were big, and they were strong, and they were handsome, and they were, I guess, everything I'm not, But they were all these things, okay? They looked the part of being a king. But God looked at him and said, none of these guys are what I'm looking for. And so Jesse was kind of scratching his head, and Samuel came up to him and said, Jesse, do you have any more sons? Like any sons that are out there? And he said, you know what? I do have one more. He's just watching the sheep out there. He's nothing really big. And so, and Samuel said to Jesse, we're not going anywhere until he comes, because that's the one God has chosen. And the reason that story is so important, and the reason you've heard it so many times, is it's an important thing to understand that God knows us. He knows our hearts better than we do. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. He knows what's going on. And also, listen to this, the second part of the Isaiah phrase. It says, my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are my ways your ways, declares the Lord. As heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. God knows more than we do. God knows what's best for you and me, and more importantly, his ways are better than yours and mine. And what I mean by that is this. You know what? Our ways, we can trick people, like I said. We can lie to people. Those are our ways. But God's ways aren't like that. God's not going to trick you. God's not gonna bring you into a place and then take you away or what. God's not into tricking you. God's not into to pulling a prank on you. God's not into that at all. God's ways are set and firm in what he does and who he is. So like we may trick, but he doesn't do it. His ways are better than our ways. Okay, what about this? Our ways is we can hurt some people sometimes, can't we? Maybe say something mean to somebody. Maybe, the worst case would be like if you physically hurt someone, like trip them or hit them or something like that. That's terrible. But, we can do that. I think you probably have seen someone do that before. Maybe you've been mean. Maybe you've talked about somebody and things like that. Those are our ways. But you know what? Those aren't God's ways. God's ways are not hurting people. God's ways don't lead to harm and into meanness. But God's way is to love and to take care of people, to love the people around us and to take care of them. That's his ways. And so I guess tonight what I want you to understand is this, is God's thoughts are higher than our thoughts. His ways are better than our ways. And so if we want to follow God and we want to follow in his footsteps, then what we need to do is try to put our ways like his ways. That we start acting and start thinking the way that he would think and start doing the things the way that he would want us to do them in a way that's loving and kind and not mean and hateful, but that we love the people around us and we take care of the people around us. That's what we're called to do, because those are his ways, not our ways. And so we need to train our hearts and our minds to be about him in his ways and not our ways. Our ways don't lead to very good things, but his ways lead to life and lead to great things. You know, the other day, Caleb and Josiah helped Grandma Smith make these cookies right here. And I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you, I love cookies. I really do. I like cookies. And you know what? I watched them make these cookies some of the way. And I watched all the ingredients put in there, and it was pretty incredible. And that's a good cookie. That right there is a good cookie. But let me ask you this. Looking at this cookie, what if they missed out on an ingredient? Maybe one little ingredient and stuff like that. We can look and sit there and say, well, you know what? It still looks like a good cookie. You know what? It still smells like a cookie. You know what? I think it could be a cookie. But then when you bite into it, if you've missed an ingredient, if you didn't do the right thing, man, you can fool them for a little bit, but when you take a bite of that cookie, you're gonna be like, oh, golly, something's wrong here, okay? And it'll get found out sooner or later that the ingredients aren't right. Well, as Christians, you know what? We're gonna do wrong. You're gonna do wrong. And you know what? That's just something that's gonna happen. But what God wants us to do is to desire to put all of the right ingredients into our lives, to put everything that we know to do to follow God the right way. Because here's the reality. You can fool most of the people around you. You can put a smile on their face. You can dress up to go to church. But you'll know if something's not right inside. And more importantly, when God looks at your life and sees your life, He'll know if it's a good cookie or if it's a bad cookie. Good cookie. And I want your life to be good too. Follow God, because His ways are higher than our ways. And His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. He's the one that we need to follow. So, just remember that. I know it's silly, but be a good cookie. Okay? That's what I want you to do. Be a good cookie here tonight and for the rest of your life. So, thanks so much. Hey, guess what? This Sunday, well, I think we're going to have church in church. Okay? So, I'd love to see you this Sunday. All right? Come on out this Sunday. Okay? 9 o'clock Sunday school, 10 o'clock service. Okay? We'd love to see you. I'd love to give you a high five, fist bump, whatever it is. We'd love to see you here this Sunday. Okay? Thank you guys. Love you guys. And we'll see you soon. Okay? Thanks. Bye-bye. Good cookie.